Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Commodity Podcast with me, your host and guide Ravindra Rao from Kotak Securities. Precious metals once again witnessed selling and traded poorly last week as well. Gold on COMEX ended with a modest decline, marking its third weekly fall and hit a low of $1762 per ounce. COMEX silver plunged sharply last week amid weakness in gold and mixed trade in industrial metals. Virus concerns have been in focus since last few days with emergence of a new variant Omicron. As gold is considered a safe haven asset, and it also got a brief boost after emergence of a new variant. Gold has, however, failed to gain momentum as market reaction subsided with the lack of much clarity on the virus front, as it seems too early to come to any conclusion on its overall effect on the economy. A lot of uncertainty is turning markets choppy. On the Fed front, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, in his testimony, indicated that the U.S. Central Bank may discuss speeding its reduction of bond purchases at its next policy meeting in mid December. Powell also dropped the word transitory to describe the high inflation. A number of other Fed officials have also expressed support for fastening the pace of bond tapering, as per the Reuters report. Mixed labor data was a huge disappointment. Although the inflation is very high, Fed also needs improvement in employment numbers for tightening of the monetary policy. Will the Fed change its plans after the payroll numbers needs to be seen? Volatility and choppiness is here to continue, and especially in the near term as market players assess virus situation and its impact on economic activity. Focus will be on the economic data prints and central bank comments ahead of Fed's next meeting on the December 14th 15th. Technically, gold is set to take support near 1759 $1758, and if that is taken out on a closing basis, there is a possibility it might fall towards 1728 to 1722 on the comics. Similarly, resistance is near $1800, which is a psychological resistance, and if that is taken out and if it closes above that, then we can say that a temporary bottom is in place near 1760. We expect this broad range to continue, and once the range breaks, we can see a direction. In case of MCX, 48,300, 48,400 remains a strong resistance on the higher side, and on the lower side, 47,400 remains a good support. If it breaches that, then it might fall further. Otherwise, we expect a range move in gold. In case of silver, on the COMEX, it has taken good support near $22 an ounce, and it is trading close to 22 half on the COMEX. And if it breaches 22 an ounce on a closing basis, then we might see further sell off. Otherwise, we feel some support might come in, and on the higher side, 23 half would act as the stiff resistance. On the MCX, 60,600 is a good support, and on the higher side, 62,500, 62,600 remains to be a good resistance. So we expect a range move in precious metals after some losses in earlier weeks, and it might take support. And we feel until the Fed meeting convenes, it might trade in this very range, and then only it might get a direction. Coming to energies, in case of crude oil, after a month rally, which pushed crude oil to 2014 highs, it has corrected over 20% from the highs and tested the lowest level since August. The change in trend reflects the shift in market perception from a tighter market to an oversupplied market. The sell-off has come at a time when market players usually square up positions before year end. The sudden and sharp fall indicates that bears have an edge over bulls. However, the intensity of sell-off may ease down if fears of oversupply fails to materialize. The biggest factor weighing on crude are renewed demand concerns as emergence of new virus variant has caused countries to impose travel restrictions. While the development is negative for price, the impact may ease once there is more clarity about transmissibility of the variant and effectiveness of vaccines. One of the uncertain factor for crude is OPEC Plus production policy. The group has decided to continue with gradual production hike despite demand challenges. However, producers have decided to take a flexible approach and are willing to act immediately if required. However, the question still remains, when will OPEC Plus act, and maybe it will act if the demand concerns intensifies and the price continues to fall. Overall, the volatility in crude oil may subside once there is more clarity about impact of virus situation. However, prospect of higher supply may keep prices under pressure. Technically, crude oil seems to have taken support near $65. This is WTI crude, and also 62 would act as a good support, and price is trading close to 70 as of now. We expect some more bounce back in crude. There is a possibility it might come up till $72 to $74 per barrel, and on the MCX, 44,950 remains a good support. And on the upside, we might see crude moving higher towards 5,350 to 5,400. But we still expect choppiness to continue, and it might trade in this very range. So bounce back play might happen in crude oil this week. In case of natural gas, the prices have been hammered very badly in recent sessions, and prices on the MCX price is trading close to 280. We expect support coming in for natural gas because it is trading close to the 252-day moving average on the daily charts, which comes to around 270, 271. So there is a chance it might bounce back once again towards 300 to 310. So a bounce back play is possible in natural gas. Below 270, 271, a support is near 265 on a closing basis. So below that, if it closes, then it might further fall. Otherwise, there is a possibility of a bounce back in natural gas prices. Finally, coming to base metals, the complex closed on a mixed note as supply tightness concerns provided cushion to some of the metals against the macroeconomic COVID-19 concerns. Copper output in top producer nation Chile fell by 3.2% in October 2021 to 4,70,700 tons compared to 4,86,500 tons mined in October 2020, owing to 15.2% decline in output at the Escondida mine to 84,700 tons of copper in October 2021 compared to 99,900 tons in October 2020. Aluminium managed to close with marginal gains this week, buoyed by a sharp decline in LME inventories, which have been consistently declining in the last 2 months. LME nickel recovered during the week and closed with 0.7% gain, supported by robust fundamentals. World's biggest nickel producer has revised the 2021 market balance and now expects nickel market to swing to a 149 kiloton deficit from a previous estimate of 52 kiloton surplus on back of strong stainless and battery sectors. Technically, copper, most of the metals looks to be in a broad range. Copper range would be between 745 on the higher side, and on the lower side 722 would act as a good support. In case of nickel, 1510, 1520 on the MCX would act as a good support, and the prices might trade between 1520 on the lower side, and on the higher side 1570, 1580 would act as the resistance. Aluminium might take support near 208, and it might trade slightly positive, but again aluminium is looking to trade in a range of 208 on the lower side and 213, 214 on the higher side. So for the coming week, focus will remain on the virus situation and the Fed. Will Omicron variant continue to unsettle the market with the risk of? Also, whether Fed changes its plans or remains hawkish amid disappointing job numbers needs to be seen. Well, with that, I'm signing off. Good luck and trade safe.